Right? The night before. Just all right. Thank you everyone for your patience. It is 4:24. And we'll call our August meeting. Yes, ma'am. Okay, 4:20. And we'll call our August 22nd, 2023 meeting to order. First item on our agenda is public comments. I don't see any members of the public here, and I didn't see any online, so we'll move on to the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of June 6th.
We approve the minutes for regular meeting of June 6th, 2023.
Do you have a second, Amy? And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that motion carries. Next on the agenda is correspondence. I did want to talk briefly about, I suppose it started with correspondence, a meeting that Ginger and I had with Crystal Kressler at the Norfolk Foundation. She invited us to speak with a man from ACES International about programs that ACES has to offer that connect schools in the US with international schools. I was under the impression that it was primarily exchange student programs that they did, but it turns out there's really quite a gamut of programs that they offer. Basically, they were asking if we would be open to having them come to talk to us at a meeting about some of the things that they may have to offer. I did explain to them that, you know, we're a small school, we're an elementary school, and that we work with Education Connection. And so, because they're kind of, as I understand it, they sort of occupy some of the same space that Education Connection does. But he said that, you know, he didn't think that that'd be a problem, that there might be some ways that we might be able to work together. And the thing that I thought sounded kind of interesting that he talked about was programs where you have kind of like a sister school in another country where you might share a project or something like that. And then you work on that project and then either collaborate on, you know, what steps you're taking to get from point A to point B, or discuss the results of your project. And I thought that fit pretty solidly into the kind of, you know, teaching that I see happen here, you know, where you have those kind of get together and discuss your results kind of thing. So it seems to me that it'd be nice to hear what they have to offer, what kind of finances, what the finances are. And we did ask a bit about the finances, because of course, you know, every program can have all kinds of great ways, but if we can't afford it, then it doesn't, you know, it's gonna be a non-starter. He talked a lot about finding ways or helping to find ways to pay for these things through grants and various kind of clever financing options. So anyway, he was a very smart man, very personable and interesting to talk to. So if it's all right with you guys, I will ask him to come and just give us a brief presentation.
Is it oriented toward boards of ed or towards staff and faculty, or is it?
Do you mean the programs that he does or his presentation?
His presentation.
Honestly, I think he'll talk to whoever's in the room. But you know, he'd be coming to talk to us at the board as the board of ed. And he knew that one. So as I understand, the connection is that Crystal knows him or is a friend of his or has worked with him before. And so she knew that he had a lot of connections in Asia, and she invited him to see the Asian Cultural Center because it was for WIN weekend that he came. And you know, she thought, well, you know, why don't I connect you with the school, the Board of Ed, while you're here, and you know, see if there's any, you know, any place where you guys might cross paths where it might be interesting.
Just wondering if it were information that teachers can make use of to schedule it for if there's an in-service or something.
Oh,
It's not going through us and to the teachers. I don't know. But we don't have to act with middlemen. We can all do it.
Yeah.
Or if we're not, if it's too hard.
I think maybe we should listen to what kinds of things they might offer first, and then if we feel like there's a program that we think could, would work for our, like, our vision for the school and we could afford, then I think we talk to the, bring the teachers on board about what, how they think they could use the idea. Well, I mean, that's my first reaction when you.
You wouldn't want to waste the teacher's time if it's not something that we're like, oh, okay, that doesn't really fit.
Yeah, it might be too hypothetical at that point, All right, well, so there's no objection, then I will ask, say that we'd be happy to have them come talk. Maybe, I don't know if we want it to be the September or October meeting. I think at the beginning of the year is best, but I'll talk with him about what his timing is. And if anybody has, like, after this meeting realizes a reason why September wouldn't work, just let me
I
know.
think he said he was away. Right?
Oh,
Maybe
that's what it was.
Like something like that, right?
That's probably right. So it'd be October. So if there's lose my October.
I did remember something.
Good, okay. All right, great. All right, then on to the superintendent's reports. We have those bills to review. Does anyone have any questions about those? Or about the budget report that we received?
Kathy is that Excel saying we're reconciled with the town, everything is kosher, copacetic, everything balanced out, and then we gave back, what, $22,000 of change, which is a little under, I believe, 1%, which we had agreed to the that's an account would take up to 1%. So I'm assuming that 22,000 change whatever it's going to now lapsing account.
Great, so that has been added to our non-lapsing account, or it should be.
It should be.
We
I don't
expect
think there's
it to be.
anything we need to do.
Right.
Board of Finance voted to do that, so maybe shouldn't ever assume anything. And I can touch base with Mike and just kind of. I'll go to the next Board of Finance meeting and I can ask that question.
Did you want to talk about any projects that might have happened at the school over the summer?
So, yeah. Any questions first about the budget bills?
It's not quite the bills, but I know we have a certain budget for like for security cameras and everything else, and now with the slide, is there like if we need to budget for trail cameras or signs or anything, like should we try to go to the town for that kind of stuff right now? Or
So we just put an additional camera out there. There's a gate and key, and Janet's not here, but Janet has the gate and key. And
Right.
we'd like to kind of get that.
she was gonna give us more?
Okay.
Yeah.
Lighting, in terms of any signage, we do have $10,000 in our budget, and right now there, according to our last state security meeting, there's really no big ticket item on there, so we probably have enough to cover that. I don't know what the proposal would be for signage or what you might be thinking about.
Just like that, the areas under surveillance or
We
whatever.
got the additional camera out there.
Well, no,
A sign that says that it's under
Oh,
surveillance. just to warn
gotcha,
people.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I wonder too, in addition to that camera, if a trail camera, they're not really that expensive and they turn on and they're good at seeing in the dark and those sorts of things. I wonder if that might be just a good addition to that space.
especially in the bottom, because people were talking about how, you can see the kids on top, and if they're throwing fireworks, they're doing
Yeah.
anything or throwing rocks down it.
Yeah.
Great, but there's no blockage to go up.
Yeah.
And I already know, I have friends that went there in the dark the other night and even reported, so there's always people there now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
We
And they're
don't
really
want
not
kids
that
to-
expensive.
Maybe we could have some sort of motion lighting there too.
yeah,
Hey, John, that seems like that'd be like in your house.
well, and we talked about lighting out there, and like, I know at home, we've done some very inexpensive things with solar lights, so
Yeah.
it doesn't cost anything, you don't need electricity, you put them out there, and then at night, it's lit. which,
Yeah.
you know, we might wanna look at some of that too.
Right. That feels worth it to me. I mean, just to,
Mhm.
choose to just invest in that a little bit, to keep it safe, keep everyone using it safe, but also to, make sure that try to safeguard as much as we can
Sure.
against future vandalism.
Right. And just to let people know that, hey, when you go to this playground, you're on camera.
Mhm.
Because hopefully that will at least deter some teenagers from,
Going down basketball hoops and.
right,
There's a 2 mile walk that we take up, and we live kind of out in the woods, and there aren't a lot of homes, but you go by this one house and it's that you hear, hello, you are currently being recorded. I don't know if you really are or not, but I think anything that kind of just makes people think twice is a good idea. So I've got a list here. We'll talk about it, safety, security, look into what's out there and what it might cost. And I don't think it's going to be something that we can't afford out of the budget, but should it exceed that, we can certainly look for the finance at the time.
thank you. I didn't know if there was money in the budget for stuff like that.
Well, we always have a $10,000 placeholder in our budget for safety, security. We also have money in our budget for building improvements, building repairs. So, there's usually money for those kinds of things. It's when the boiler blows or some big ticket item goes that we then have to scramble.
Okay.
But we have additional cameras. All the phones have been installed into the areas of refuge. The oil tank is all set. The balusters or whatever they are there. They've replaced the baluster up here that was removed while we paved the parking lot. We've had all of our inspections done over the summer. Keith will be in next Tuesday to do a walkthrough with us to make sure that everything is, and John may be there as well. Just to again check and make sure that everything that's supposed to be done is done, and to identify any areas that we might need to fix or take care of. We have, the building is absolutely ready to open. We've got a great staff. We are really, really excited about opening school and the perspective for this year. We start teacher negotiation meetings this evening. Actually, after this meeting, we'll start negotiations with teachers. So it's been a busy summer. It's been a productive summer. I sent out some emails. I'm not sure if there's anything on your mind that you're curious about, but two things that I just wanted to just throw out there. So during the summer, you give the superintendent permission to do whatever to balance the budget. And there are always things in our budget. We develop our budget October, November, we vote on it in the spring. And then after that, we have staffing changes. We get oil prices that get fixed. We get insurance updates. So things kind of change. So I don't know if the finance subcommittee wants to convene to just kind of go over those things or not. That's an option for you. And then we will be meeting in October to start developing the budget for next year. And there's been so much conversation. Many of you, if not maybe I think all of you, were at the EBC meeting, and there continues to be a strong focus on community outreach and developing those relationships. And I'm just wondering if the board would support our finance committee putting something in that proposed budget as a position to pay someone, consultant or otherwise, part-time position, to support those efforts. So that moving forward, we've got money if in fact there is some additional support that we would want to enlist to bring some expertise or someone who has the time and experience to support that effort in a bigger way. So just something like that I would throw out there.
Okay. So when we get to our talking about our subcommittees, we'll talk about the finance committee wants to meet to review those changes and to think about proposals for community support position, community relations position. Okay. Was there anything else Mary Beth?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Bubbling, things seem to be quiet, ready to open school.
And we have a meet and greet on,
We have a meet and greet on Tuesday at 3:30. Hopefully board members can come. If not, 2:30, okay, 2:30. I don't know. But, you know, if board members can't come, we can ask our new staff if they can come to the September board meeting so that we can introduce you and put a face with a name. It's not something we can require, but, if you're able to come to the meet and greet, hopefully you can meet them up close and personal.
Is there any reason that they didn't stop with the?
Yes, they couldn't afford it. It wasn't in the budget next year. And they told me they are going to do some work on that culvert. They're gonna fill it with stone so that things drain in. I did ask our guys to put up some tape or something in the short term. Did they get to that?
There's like snow
There's-
stakes, there's
yeah.
some snow
They
stakes.
put the stakes, okay, just to kind, because it is, you know, someone parks it, it's a significant drop off. The other thing, I did talk to Matt about getting the lines put in, because Public Works, when they were here, said that, you know, that they were gonna do that, but that they had a machine and our guys could borrow it to paint the lines. Our guys can't paint lines, they can't do the, you know, fire lines, so Matt did say he would look into that, and I'll follow up and expecting that they'll take care of putting the lines on the parking lot, but the upper parking lot, and then Keith had pointed out at one point this summer that there's a pathway from the gym that's in path of, heat, thank you, that really is overground, so we're hoping that when they do the upper parking lot, Troy would be able to then redo that area as well, but supposedly that's in the budget for next year. I think all the unexpected road stuff and bridge stuff, especially with the storm, has put the budget, you know, in a really tight spot with the town, so I imagine that's one thing that wasn't urgent, that, you know, they put off, but it is on the list of things for the town to do. But I'm thrilled because this is the first time, when I got here in 2014, the 5-year capital improvement program had removed oil tank, paved parking lot, roof work. And every year since then, it's still on the plan, and we kind of, but we're finally able to check off a whole lot of those boxes. So the roof project, I think, is still, you know, in the process of being worked out, and that's something that will probably be done over the next year, but big projects, the oil tank and the parking lot were huge, so happy with those are.
great, thank you. Lauren, principal's report.
So just to piggyback off of what Mary Beth said, it was a very productive, positive summer. We filled our new staff openings at the beginning of the summer, and I'm inviting them, and they are coming to a new staff orientation tomorrow. So really excited about that. Our students, you know, we kind of have some new people coming in and some people leaving, as always happens over the summer. We have 18 students in the early primary class, 15 in the primary, 11 in the intermediate, and 13 in the upper intermediate as of today, for a total of 57 total enrollment. We always use survey data and student learning and growth data, you know, feedback in general to craft yearly school goals that align with our continuous growth plan and the Board of Ed goals, and we have done that. You know, I can share those if you'd like. But we met as a Safe School Climate team and did some pre-planning work. So we have kind of a theme that encompasses what we want to work on this year with regards to celebrating all and creating community. And it was a great meeting where we really talked about things we want to do in the school, but also connections that we want to make with the community. And that is also one of our school climate goals, to engage the broader school and town community in positive identification and participation in school life. And so we have a lot of, I think, really meaningful connections that we're going to make, you know, with some of the things we talked about with EDC. And Holly Alexson, who went to Botel School and still lives in Norfolk, she had a lot of history about the, you know, community at large to give us some great feedback and ideas on. So between, you know, inviting town members to things, using the newspaper, planning some field trips in town, inviting some community members into the school, and, you know, planning some school and community events. We've always done with student council, you know, kind of drives for the community, but, you know, have some sort of connection between a community event and the school. One of the things we are talking about is having our students march in the Memorial Day parade. So that was a really productive and positive meeting where we accomplished a lot. And the first day of school, where I know the PTO had a kind of a welcome to the slide event, but we're also planning one for the first day of school. You know, you're all certainly welcome. We're gonna get a ribbon, and I guess there's some big scissors still left over from when the new playground was put in. So we're gonna have an 11 a.m. ribbon cutting / good news gathering, and we're
on Wednesday next week.
yep, Wednesday.
Did you get that email from me about that ribbon cutting?
I did.
Oh, okay, I just wanna make sure.
Yeah.
Good.
And-
Thank you.
Yeah, so one of the things that we planned as the state school climate team was soar into the new year, and to kind of connect that with the slide, we're going to invite every student and staff member to think of their hope and dream for the new year and holler it out as they slide down the hill. And then we're going to connect that to, you know, we're going to post them on a bulletin board at school. So we're looking forward to that. And that about sums it up.
That's great. And Catherine, not, I'm terrible with that last name.
Boughton, yes, we're
From
gonna,
Republican American, she was there at the last opening.
and we
She's gonna come
invited
next
her,
year.
yeah, and we're gonna reach out to someone at the Norfolk now also.
Ruthie and Steve Mundell were at the opening, and so.
Oh, okay.
Colleen is, although she'll probably be September.
Just
so it might be a little too close to that date to get. Or do I want them to go?
And we figure afterwards, we're gonna do a thank you letter writing to Mr. Riska for the slide,
Oh, that's
to the
that's really
town, to, you know, thank them for their work in installing it, so.
If you take a video or portions of the video, you can post it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, could somebody, if somebody comes and do that, that would be really helpful, because I'll probably be
Orchestrating.
orchestrating.
Yeah, so I'll try to take. I'll
Hey,
try to take-
Ryan?
And then I'll take the video.
Kathy
Yeah.
just went to open the door for you. I'm sorry. I didn't want to get this car and go home and take it to the law. We're required to invite Board of Finance and the representative to negotiation meetings, and Mike is actually here for the negotiation.
Awesome. Okay, all right, well, was there anything, thank you very much for that report.
Yep.
Okay, and moving on. To our standing committees. So it's been the summer, so we haven't had anyone meet, but just to remind all chairs that we need to post our meetings for the next year, so we should start thinking about that calendar, get it early to Kathy and so.
I would come with that first curriculum and technology meeting. There's a wetlands meeting for the fire department plan
Okay,
at 5.
okay.
Can I move it earlier or move it to a different week? Or
Whatever you want to do,
you know,
whatever you set. Earlier might be a little difficult for me, a different week would probably be better for me.
and it might be difficult for the teachers too.
Okay.
There's a 7 o'clock.
Oh.
I think it's 7. Or is that one?
All right.
Isn't that our Board of Ed meeting night too?
Yep.
Okay.
If you need to move it to another week, then it's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Finance, do you want to set a meeting?
Sure. Let's set a meeting with the superintendent to discuss current state of the budget, what happened over the summer, any positions for human relations.
Sure, I'm pulling up my calendar.
Just checking. 7:15. Oh, so we're meeting 6 on the 5th. So if we do have that. 7:15.
Sure.
And then my calendar.
Just remind me that day too.
So I had it on my calendar, so we're moving curriculum and technology meeting to 7.
No.
No, I had the one time for the other.
Oh, okay, all right,
We're just remembering that on that day, the full board meeting, we have to make sure we stay on track because they want to go somewhere for something.
gotcha, okay.
So are you gonna be at the curriculum meeting?
Yeah.
That day? Do you want to meet before that?
Sure,
For finance?
if that works
This
for
must be the place.
Virginia and Ann.
This
I've
is
got,
the,
in fact, he's coming. Jeremiah Bickford is going to observe because I figured it's time to train somebody younger than me about what you do in this kind of stuff.
we're finishing up our August, meeting, our regular board meeting.
Is
Um,
there
we'll
4
finish
o'clock,
up later.
Kathy?
5 o'clock is the.
I'll get it.
I am on.
So on the 5th, you wanted to meet at what time?
When you. When?
I'm not on the, I'm
Oh,
not on the
yeah.
finance.
Finance. The other one's at 4:30, so 4:30,
What?
3:30?
3:30? Sounds good.
All right, so we have to remember to post that. So if you send, notice of that meeting, Kathy will post, right? So you-
3:30, 4:30, and 6. Got it. Okay. So do you want to just make sure we do the bus routes before?
I just wanted to say quickly to get through the rest of these, no one has met. Well, like I said, we'll be coming up in our meetings, we'll start again. For our liaisons, I'd like to add a liaison to the EDC meeting. I've asked, and Lauren volunteered actually, to be our EDC liaison. And I think that would be a really great connection, because then they all feel like they have a lot of good direct access to school, and I just think it'll be a really good. So thank you very much for doing that. Sure, Kathy, if you could add that to our page here, I'd appreciate it. And they meet, no, I forgot, this is the second Thursday, third Thursday.
Put it on my calendar.
Seems like the third Thursday at 5 o'clock.
And they usually do meet on Zoom, by the way. They
Oh,
just didn't, yes, because I usually just zoom into that. Which, can you remind me to talk to you about an open gym opportunity? Because I know we talked about that at the EDC, like bringing more people in. So I have an opportunity with folks that play pickleball with the curling club, and once that gets iced, they can't play there anymore. And I was like, maybe we could open up our gym to that, and that then people would be coming. So instead, before I totally reach out to them, I wanted to talk to you about if that's an opportunity that we could do.
We talked about that before.
Oh, you did?
Portable nets, but how would you do the lining?
They can use tape. Yeah, that's what they use. is tape.
I know that at one point Hartley was going, maybe they even did this, set up a pickleball court in the underground playground.
I know we were talking about that too, like, oh, maybe they could do, I don't know how cold that gets.
Yeah, he put the lines in place.
Oh,
That's great. That's a great. thing.
Because, and it's, it's most seasons,
yeah,
and they can have access whenever they want. Yeah, because
that's
you don't have to
right.
go into the school.
Okay, so then the guy I was talking to didn't know that Hartley had done that,
Oh, okay,
but, okay.
so that's actually even better than this year.
That's what I thought too, but I didn't know with the weather.
Custodian who would be,
They just put the pin number in and get in and
Yeah.
turn the lights on.
Right,
Okay,
and there's lights, so they
Yeah.
can play anytime, every day, or, you know, in any way.
okay.
People don't play for party starts.
They can have a
I
free
guess so, yeah.
we play pickleball outside all the.
As long as you give me a drink while I'm playing.
We are, we
Yeah.
did start a little bit late, we have another meeting coming up, so, I would like let's table the unfinished business of the posters and, the conversation with the Joy Club, but it does seem that we need to approve these bus routes before we can move forward. So does anyone have any questions about the bus routes?
I just have some comments on, just because of personal knowledge, I know bus 72 in the morning does not need to stop at 412 Greenwich Northwest anymore. That's due, there's no students there anymore.
Where is that?
412 Greenwich Road West. Because then the bus turns around and gets to Haggerty's. That was my mother-in-law's house.
Oh, no. So,
Yeah,
graduate.
right. And then also, bus 71, can we add a Village Green stop if Michael takes the bus home? Would that be, like, we can probably do that later, right? Because I think he's old enough to walk around the corner. And then I don't
Does he have a stop on this?
No.
71? Yeah,
No,
okay.
We don't, well, like John used to, like there used to be one.
Yep.
But because there was never, like, he wasn't old enough to really walk home,
Mhm.
we were like, oh, it takes the same amount of time to go to the bus stop than it does to pick him up. Or he would go to the Gabriella's house and walk through, but
Yeah,
she's not here, so.
Yeah. okay, yeah.
So
I
like
will
before Litchfield
pass that
Road,
along.
yeah, I mean, if you could just ask if they could do that.
Mhm.
Okay,
And I think I looked through the rest, it seems. The normal rates.
all right, so then, do we need a motion to approve these districts?
I move to approve the bus routes proposed for the 2023-2024 school year.
Seconded by Amy, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, and so the Cape Convention, that was on here as a business, when is that again, November?
It's November.
I would say the week after the 7th, right?
The 17th and the 18th.
And Mystic again?
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Is anyone interested in going to that? If you can think about that, put that on your calendars,
Right.
and if you.
There's a significant discount if we do early registration,
Right.
so,
We'll be right, we're almost done, thank you.
you know, if folks can decide and let Kathy know, she'll send it the registration and a check. And you can
I
go,
always really like it, it's a lot of
Yeah.
interesting things to learn, and it's like, it's quite a fun time, but, I think it's a-
You can go for one of the 2 days?
Yeah, yes.
yeah, you could go Friday or Saturday. If you're gonna go one day, Friday is the better day, or you could go the 2 days. We'll pay the registration if you decide to stay overnight. The accommodations would be a personal expense, but
Janet and Ginger and I went last time, and it was fun, it was nice to stay,
Learned a
we
lot of
stayed,
stuff.
yeah, we stayed, and it was nice. And the hotel is very nice, and they have a discount for the night. if you're thinking. Okay, so with those things done, I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
A motion to.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you very much.
good to see all of you again.
Nice to see everyone.
Thanks, Julie.